Rusty Quill presents.
Welcome to Ain't Slayed Nobody. This is an actual play podcast intended for adults and may contain material that some people find disturbing. Please see the episode notes for content warnings and listen with care. Hey, this is Cupp here to let you know that The Between is coming to BackerKit September 24th. The ultimate version will include 3 physical books and a whole lot more. Sign up for pre-launch right now at slade.me/hunter.
Mr. Melmoth, Mr. Kessler, I want to add some more details about this space. The mosaic and the other decor in this little underground temple space indicates that it is a space that was sacred to the Roman god of the sun, which I believe is Apollo. Let's paint the scene. What do we see that shows that this subterranean space that is the home of a vampire is sacred to a sun god?
The representation of Apollo in the mosaic on the floor has a face that looks actually startlingly like the mask that Sebastian took from the man in Limehouse yesterday.
Opposite the floor, I think the ceiling is painted as the sun.
There's almost like a stained glass situation, not a window though, behind which sits a brazier that is meant to be constantly kept lighted.
There's also like a little corner that's almost an altar to the sun god, and there's a bunch of small folded up written notes that have been left there.
Now I have to say, because of Sons of Another World, Mr. Melmoth, and because of, which I believe you still have as a condition, if I'm not mistaken, and because of Marked by Julius, you are both at disadvantage in all rolls in this space.
Woof.
Did we clear any conditions?
You did not.
I came down here to do so, but we haven't got that far yet.
You have not gotten that far yet.
Can we hang out before we walk in here?
Just have a little chat in the sun cult, yeah.
Yeah.
I want the night move from you both just to be down here. What are you afraid is going to happen right now if you lose your nerve?
That we'll never find our way back up out of here.
It's worse than that. The reason why you won't find your way up out of here is because Julius claims you for his afternoon repast, we'll say.
I was hoping you'd say Muse. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Kessler, what are you afraid will happen?
I'm afraid that my body parts are going to end up in that brazier.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's worse than that.
You can pick the body parts, you know.
Yeah. We'll make it real painful. Okay, well, let's see if this is how it's going to go. You can choose to back away. If you both want to go back upstairs and not do the rolls, you can. But otherwise, you're going to be rolling at disadvantage. It's going to be... We'll stick with composure for both of you.
Is that good or bad for me?
Are you just going to die now?
No, we're going to pass these rolls, Josephine.
Right.
As Scott would say, it would be churlish to deny Jason the scene he's set for us. So I think we'll proceed.
No, I see no reason to run away at this stage.
All right. Is this a roll where we could use one of our inventory items?
If you can justify it, yeah. Like if something gives you strength or something like that, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that when Roland sees the robed figures, he's going to draw his gun to intimidate.
I'm into it. Yeah, you can It'll cancel out the disadvantage. So, yeah.
Right. So just a regular roll is what I'm aiming for.
And you don't have to mark that either because it's your move.
Yay.
Whereas I think I will mark an item, and I'm going to use this golden sun mask I got yesterday.
Ah, very good. Yes.
And wear that just so that they remember that I am divine.
Very good. Good use of the items. You're both rolling 2d6 plus composure, which is 1 for you both.
All right. Oh, shit.
Okay, I rolled a 3.
Oh.
A 3. What'd you get, Roland?
I rolled an 11.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Kessler, you're okay, but Mr. Melmoth is not. How interesting. I think the way this is going to go, obviously, Mr. Melmoth, you can avoid this with the Janus mask, but I think the way the scene is going to go is Mr. Kessler, you are spared, and maybe even like back them off while Mr. Melmoth is not. I do want to have that scene before you do Janus mask, so let's return to Ms. Archer and Ms. Ennis. Ms. Archer, do you go fetch Ms. Ennis? What's going on? I owe Ms. Ennis a clue, too.
Yeah, just standing in the hallway. Ms. Ennis, it's time to go. It's just like shouting.
Are we on the balcony, though? You probably see us on the balcony, right?
Yeah, you're on the balcony. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ms. Ennis, here's your clue. While you're being sketched, I think you're seeing people go up to the entrance gate of Cremorne Gardens, you know, there to have an afternoon of walking among the gardens, taking in the sights. Families, couples. And there's a boy who's standing at the gate with a bunch of flyers. And he's trying to dissuade people from going to Cremorne Gardens. He says, "Don't waste your money at Cremorne Gardens. Come to Madame Tussaud's and come see the new Horrors of the Deep exhibit. That's right, something to get your blood up. Terror from the waves. We have krakens, leviathans, giant octopi." And he's kind of going on about this Horrors of the Deep exhibit at the waxwork, trying to get people to not go to Cremorne Garden.
Yeah, I think she's like at the edge of the balcony listening now, like, you know, has totally dropped the pose that she was in. It's like, Horrors of the Deep. What horrors? Maybe I'll ask Mr. Whistler.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think Mr. Whistler is paying attention or cares to whatever's going on down there. I do want to give you a condition based off this because I'm curious how, as a person of the deep, how do you feel about this casual reference to Horrors of the Deep?
Terribly. I think that she's just, she's worried, she's scared, she's reminded that she's not from here and that she doesn't belong here.
I'm going to give you a condition in quotes. Am I the horror of the deep?
Oh, no. Okay, so that's my third condition, though.
Don't get another one.
Okay.
If you get another one, you have to mark Janus mask.
Okay.
Fantastic. You'll probably hear Ms. Archer hollering for you.
Yes. How high up is the balcony?
Oh, it's just like one story up. It's not far.
Could I jump down?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, if you want to. Yeah.
Viola's out there. Where is that girl? Where is she?
She's like scrambling over as if she's like, I need to get out of here now. Like she's suddenly very uncomfortable. And
Mr. Whistler's like, what? What's going on?
Miss Archer! As I'm like climbing over and kind of like leap down sort of into your direction.
If I can help arrest her fall, then I will definitely do that.
You got a miss on your roll, right, Miss Archer?
Yes.
You did. I have some thoughts. Oh, no. I have some thoughts here. I think as you're walking down the hallway to leave, you pass a woman. She's wearing a very, very fashionable dress, I would say. She has a fascinator on her head, which is a really showy, ostentatious thing to have on in the middle of the day. She's actually carrying a glass of wine just out in the middle of the day, like walking down the street. And she nods politely. And you're down there, you're talking to Ms. Innes, and this woman comes back out of the building, and she says, Mr. Piedmont says I'm supposed to come find you.
And you are?
I am Albertina Welk.
I don't know you.
Ah, well.
We have to go.
No, please, wait. Mr. Piedmont, well, I came to see if Mr. Piedmont would like to join me on the dancing platform tonight. I'm very, very excited about dancing. I know all the new dances, the polka, the Portland, the Boston. The Viennese waltz is how I made my reputation with this set.
I do not care about which dances you know. Did you need something from us, or...?
Have you heard of the tango, South American, very dramatic? Mr. Piedmont is not available tonight, but he said that you were an exceptional dancer, the woman who just left his house, and that I should come find you. And, well, here you are. I would love for you to join me tonight.
What I want to do is I want to look at this woman's hands and, like, parts of clothing that would be near a stabbing arm. You know what I mean? Like, I want to take a look at this woman real hard.
What are you worried about?
That she's killed Mr. Piedmont, like, beat him up or something, and, like...
Oh, no. I love that that's Miss Archer's instinct.
Yeah.
No, that's not what's going on at all.
Okay.
He's, like, pissed about how you were treating him, and so he's pointed this woman at you just to be a pain in the ass.
Okay, she doesn't put two and two together.
I like you not knowing that, though. Yeah.
So I think that she's like, a trap being laid, so she's, I'll lay one of my own. I would love to accompany you this evening on the dance floor.
Oh, splendid. Wonderful. Do you have different shoes by chance?
I'm sure I could find some. Are there particular...
Do you have different clothes by chance?
No.
Well, all right. I have a feather boa that would look lovely on you.
Are you going to wear that hat?
Well, not this particular hat. I've already been seen in this one. But
To each his own, I suppose. I shall meet you at the entrance to the garden.
Oh, yes. Tonight, say 7 o'clock?
Wonderful.
Oh, splendid. And you have my name. Oh, I didn't catch yours.
I did not give it.
Well.
She'll, like, take Moira's hand and start walking away.
You are getting a condition marked by Albertina Welk.
Great.
Oh, was I there the whole time?
Oh, yeah. Moira was just there.
I thought I had yet to leap. I see.
Oh, no. I think you're there.
Just silently there, just hidden behind Miss Archer, I think, the whole time.
Oh, fantastic. What fun we've gotten up to over near Cremorne Gardens.
Okay, great. Well, this is great information for Miss Innes to have about Miss Archer and her dancing skill anyway, so.
I think so, too. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Let's check in with Mr. Melmoth in particular and Mr. Kessler. Mr. Kessler, the way this scene is going to go doesn't mean this is necessarily their disposition once you put on the Janus mask, so just know that.
Yes.
But in this timeline, their disposition is thus. These sort of like cultists or whatever they are, they start like approaching and anointing you both with oils to prepare you to step into the center of their circle. It's all very ritualistic. They're very focused on Mr. Melmoth, I think. You have a gun pulled out, and while they are keeping it together, they are giving you a little bit of space there, Mr. Kessler. And somewhere in the dark, Julius just loses his patience with all this. He's like, oh, I don't have time for this. And he leaps, flies, glides through the air, through the temple space, slams aside the cultists, grabs Mr. Melmoth, and just spins Mr. Melmoth up, floating into the middle of this ritual space, sinks his teeth into Mr. Melmoth, and he has a look in his eyes of just pure unbridled exhilaration and ecstasy. The initial bite is so violent that as they're sort of spinning dance-like in the air, there's blood just spraying everywhere like a sprinkler. And the whole time, Julius is just like living his best life. He's like,
Wait, stop.
Mr. Kessler, what prevents you from intervening? You're not hurt, but what prevents you from helping Mr. Melmoth?
Seeing these two intertwined is just the most beautiful thing he's ever seen.
I love it. That's good.
I feel like he drops the gun and is just staring up at them slack-jawed.
I like that even in death, Melmoth is bringing beauty and joy to all around.
to the world. Yeah, exactly. When Julius is done, he just drops Sebastian like just a discarded husk. Sebastian, he doesn't even land heavily because there's like not much left in him, like that would make a thudding sound. It sounds like more of a soft whisper as his clothes and bones and skin fall to the ground. And Julius, still floating in the air, just says, well, that was fucking incredible. But of course, Mr. Melmoth, you have the option of putting on the Janus mask if you would like.
I think I might, yes.
The Mask of the Sun's no longer available, so you have to pick either past or future.
I believe I will start on the Masks of the Past and go for the first one there. So, yes, the prompt is narrate a flashback to your childhood that shows how, even then, people were willing to suffer in order to make you happy. We're seeing one of London's great parks, and a very young Sebastian, 6 or 7 years old, is out with his parents. And even at this age, there is something radiant and transcendental about Sebastian. His parents, however, are very ordinary. They live a comfortable life, but not an extravagant one in any way. His family's resources go very much into keeping the young Sebastian happy and buying him all the things he demands, but even then, he's never satisfied with any of them. And so one day they're out there in the park, walking around, and Sebastian spies the governess of another little boy who is clearly much better to do than they are, dressed in much finer clothes. And so he just walks up to the governess and says, I'm your child now. Send that one over to them. There is this moment of shock that the governess can't believe what's happening. Sebastian's parents burst into tears, but somehow they just all have to go along with what he said, and like a cuckoo entering the nest, Sebastian enters a much higher stratum of society.
I was going to say that Albertina had a cuckoo on her fascinator.
Oh, yes.
I love it. Okay, very good.
That's so unhinged.
I love it.
So out of character for Sebastian.
Instead, Mr. Melmoth and Mr. Kessler, we get up to the point of these attendants sprinkling you with holy oil, and eventually Julius says, enough of that already. Just let them in. Here, the two of you please approach. We don't need to stand on formality.
Thank you. I wasn't quite sure that oil went with my current perfume, but, well, you have spared us that.
Yes, yes.
Nobody oils my gun but me.
Wow. Look, we just learned a lot about Mr. Kessler there.
That was my Mask of the Past, actually.
Julius is wearing kind of quite snug-fitting leather trousers and a sort of open-at-the-chest pirate shirt, long blonde hair. He says, "So I pose the question again. What are you?"
I am a friend of Mr. Kessler's. He has invited me to come here and meet you because he thought we might become great friends. This is a wonderful little pied-à-terre you have here. I must admit I do like what you've done with the place. The sun motifs, I must admit, seem somewhat at odds with the general ambience. I see that you favor the darkness down here, and don't you find that lovely velvety shadows mask the sheer tawdriness of the mundane world and elevate everything to a sense of beauty and mystery?
He looks at you, Mr. Kessler, and he's like, "Wow, where'd you get him?" No, I really mean it. Where'd you get him? He smells incredible.
We worked together. I knew you two needed to meet once I caught sight of you.
You work together? Now that's very interesting. Do you possibly work at Hargrave House?
Kessler just looks at Sebastian.
Oh, yes, of course we do.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I have no quarrel with Hargrave House. In fact, Hargrave House and I we've had a truce going for about, 200 years now.
Ah.
My home is your home. I hope that someday your home can occasionally be my home as well. But we can talk about those details later. To your question, Mr. Melmoth. No, I don't find that to be the case. I actually quite miss the sun. I grow quite bored with the shadows. But, and he kind of leans in really close so that the attendants can't hear. But just between you and me, this place, the way it's decorated, that's strictly for their benefit.
Of course.
I've convinced them that I am a lost son of Apollo who cannot find his father, which is why I can't be in front of the sun. They worship me. It's incredible.
But it can get rather tedious sometimes as well, can't it?
Do you also have mortal hangers-on?
I am so tempted at this stage because I, in my last advance, took a new move, which is Giveth. And at any time, I can declare that a side character is secretly one of my worshippers. And it does seem like Julius would be a great addition. So I'll just smile at him and say, "Oh, not just mortals."
Ah, that's very good. Let's read the move for the benefit of everyone here and everyone listening. This is a great move. It's probably it's the marquee undeniable move. Giveth. At any time, you can declare that a side character is secretly one of your worshippers. Describe how the side character subtly or not so subtly debases themselves before you in the scene and then scar your reflection. So please do that.
Not another scar.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am well over a quarter of the way towards the end game now. So what happens then is Julius, as I say that, looks at me meaningfully and then in front of all his worshippers kneels down and kisses my feet.
Just to make this more interesting, because you're wearing that mask, the cult, they all go, Could it be Apollo returned? Is this the sun god in the flesh? The father has returned to claim the sun.
I'll turn to them and say, "You have misunderstood. I have come here as Apollo in order to give my blessing to my son. and I'll take the mask off, and I'll give it to him.
Ah, very good.
For he is now Apollo incarnate.
And that satisfies the other part of the move, which is whenever you make a gift of something from your personal quarters to a worshiper, they will do exactly as you say, no questions asked, up to and including destroying themselves. If you demand information from them, it may come in the form of a clue at my discretion.
And it occurs to me, I'll say more quietly, placing an arm around Julius's shoulder, that you bear certain similarities, I don't want to be vulgar about the whole thing, to the object of our attention at the moment. There is a young, well, actually no, a very old member of your, perhaps, shall we say, extended family, who is operating within London at the moment. And he has proved to be very elusive. And I just wondered, I don't want to be crass and say that you all know each other, but I just wondered whether you might have some history together or some information you could impart.
Indeed, he will. Ms. Archer and Ms. Ennis, where are you headed next?
Oh.
Where is the rest of this little afternoon jaunt headed? What are we doing?
Afternoon jaunt. Okay, can I do vulnerable move on my end? Because I have 3 conditions right now, and I should probably maybe prioritize that.
What is your vice?
My vice is public baths.
Okay. We could maybe play with that idea a little bit and say that there's a people watching component to public baths that you can translate into walking the promenade on Cremorne Gardens, if that makes sense. I think it's in the spirit of it, if nothing else, and they might have water features too, for all we know. So
yeah, if there's a fountain,
It's just
I will definitely take advantage of a fountain. Now, Miss Archer you don't have to come with me. I know that
if she would want to go talk to Ms. Thrum.
Oh yeah.
I think that would kind of be on the way.
Yeah, probably. Let's paint the scene, everyone. Well-manicured lawns, neatly ordered flower beds, ancient trees. Ms. Ennis and Ms. Archer see multiple things, that are truly beautiful along the promenade. Something truly, truly beautiful in this dingy, crowded city. What do they see?
One of the branches on one of those ancient trees is creating an archway almost over the promenade, and they see a young man proposing to his girlfriend.
Oh.
There is a little marble statue of a cherub that has been forgotten, that has been partly taken by nature, grown over with moss and a little bit of ivy that's just sitting there in the undergrowth. And in its arms, a bird has created a nest, and there are a few brightly coloured eggs just sitting in that nest.
Oh my God. Okay, how are we topping? More beautiful. Maybe we see childhood joy. There are 2 little toddlers meeting for the first time, but it's as if they've known each other forever in the way that toddlers do, just acknowledge each other, and they're playing and they don't speak the same language, but it doesn't matter. They're holding hands and skipping around and just frolicking in the park and amongst the flowers.
I think if the adjacent neighborhood is eventually going to become kind of a center of an artistic movement, then maybe that even started because whoever was the patron of the park or whatever commissioned these interesting non-standard, so not paintings or anything, but some sculptures, or there's a particular one that's a glass sculpture that is a little bit amorphous, it doesn't have a specific shape, but it catches the light at certain times of day to just put all these beautiful rainbow sparkles kind of all around it.
Nice.
Have your scene. Try to angle the clear conditions.
Okay. All right. Well, I would like to find a fountain, a large fountain, and if Miss Archer is with Miss Innes, as they're walking towards it, Miss Innes has looked kind of defeated and down and a little like more morose than usually ever see her, and is kind of just trudging aimlessly, kind of like kicking pebbles on the path as she unknowingly sort of walks towards this fountain. And then when she hits the edge of it with her legs, she just falls face first into the water and just floats there face down for a while.
Okay. I think Ms. Archer has been kind of like walking along, just kind of like complaining about Mr. Piedmont and Ms. Welk, and just like at first doesn't notice Ms. Innes kind of wandering off, and then her attention is caught by the splash. She rushes over, and then to anyone who's walking by, she's dropped something, move along, and then we'll kind of go over. And I think at this point picks up that something's wrong, so she'll just get in the fountain and like sit in the fountain with you, so you're not the only one with like wet clothes in a fountain. Maybe she'll splash around. Ha ha! What fun we're having! Are you all right?
She tips her head up and looks at you like, I just wanted to hide my tears. And you tell, like, on her wet face, if you look closer, you see that her eyes, like, she's just crying amongst it, but her whole face is wet. You're in the water. You're in the water with me.
Well, yes, I suppose I thought it would be slightly less conspicuous if there were two of us instead of just one.
'Cause this is strange, is it?
It is a bit, yes. Mostly it's the face down aspect of it.
Am I strange?
You are. But not in an unpleasant way.
Not in a concerning, scary, the thing of deep, dark horror?
Ms. Innes, I am confident in saying that you are the least scary thing at Hargrave House currently.
I can be scary.
I don't doubt that you can. Do you want? I'm having a hard time passing these signals.
No, I get worried, with the stories about what we're doing right now, what we're looking into. What would they think of me? Would you, for example, if you didn't know me, would you be hunting me?
I will not lie to you, Ms. Innes. There is a possibility that I would be, but usually my hunts are spurned on by someone requesting action be taken against something, and you do not strike me as one that would harm others.
Well, sometimes there are misunderstandings. You don't know a situation, you only hear what the surface world has to say.
Are you worried for your safety?
No. She sort of slumps back into the water.
Oh dear.
That's not my safety. Just... I think it's exciting. I think everything up here is exciting and new, and I love to learn about it. Although there are some scary bits here as well. So why is it that when people look at the deep ocean that they think more of darkness than they ever do of the joy and excitement of what they may discover there?
The simplest answer is people fear what they do not know. And there is much mystery still surrounding the sea, especially the deep sea. I think that people also probably hate the exceptional, and everyone exceptional is a little bit weird.
Right.
I'll note Miss Archer has not yet mentioned that her and her family hunt and kill monsters and anything not human.
Yes. You've only mentioned that you're a monster hunter, right? Like that's what but not, yeah.
I think Mr. Kessler knows, because I think I did mention like a family aspect of it, but not any details, yeah.
Yes, no, I don't know that. Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of somewhere in Hargrave House, there's a gallery hall with just archer after archer holding up like heads or something, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's good enough for me. Well, at least, do you promise never to hunt me?
Ms. Innes, I cannot make that promise.
It feels like a good end of the scene. I'm sure we can go from there.
Yeah, I think she probably just doesn't say anything anymore.
Yeah, Ms. Innes, you do have an option here since it was your vice in the vulnerable move. You can stumble on a clue, or you can invite Ms. Archer to ask you about your past. It's one of those rare opportunities to talk about your past.
Do I get to have cleared a condition?
No, you definitely make the case for...
Horror of the deep. Okay, great.
I think that, Ms. Archer, I would like for you to mark an O on your hunt.
How many hints do we have? How many? We've got 2. I think we'll get more. You know what? No, yeah, I'll invite you to ask questions.
Think on your question for Ms. Ennis. Let's check back in with... actually, Mr. Kessler. Mr. Kessler, there's a whole thing going on right now. In the temple. It does not involve you. You can be kind of on the periphery or doing whatever you want to do. What are you doing?
He feels very awkward right now. And I think he kind of walks back toward the robed figures and is like, that's right. That's why they call it the Peacemaker. He's like trying to make a show of like how he saved the day.
I was like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
But he'll eavesdrop, and I think he's really surprised by how Julius is acting, because he was someone who demonstrated a lot of power. Like, his aura was very strong, and now he's weak.
If you're eavesdropping, make the information move with vitality.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I rolled a 9.
Fantastic. I owe you a clue. And Mr. Melmoth. Julius is still on his knees, wearing the sun mask. He says, yes, I know the one you speak of. It's new in the city. It's from the continent, I believe. I don't know it personally. But well, let's just say, sometimes very, very old things come in very, very small packages. It is an incredibly ancient bloodsucker, far, far older than me, and I'm no spring chicken. That's not your clue, though. He's just prattling on. You can keep pestering him.
So, if you were to try to find this incredibly old bloodsucker, as you put it, where would you personally start looking?
Well, something you may not know about my kind is that the older we get, the more eccentric we get. This particular vampire has a very strange eccentricity indeed. Walk about Limehouse, all of East London really, and you'll notice something very curious. You might see 3 gas lamps arranged in a row, but the third has had the frosted glass removed. You might see a clock standing in the square, but the 3, the 6, the 9, and the 12 have all been removed from the face. Over by the Limehouse School, they have a display meant to amuse the poor wretches that live there. Fairy tales and such. And a painting of the 3 blind mice features only 2 blind mice. One has been scratched out. Keep your eyes open and you'll see
The absence of a 3. A third thing missing in a sequence. That is very curious behavior. That is ancient vampire behavior.
How perfectly fascinating. I do thank you for this insight, Julius.
Apollo incarnate.
Apollo, of course. How frightfully rude of me.
He stands up and he spreads his arms and he turns to face his people. He says,
My father has invested me with his power.
And the robed people are all like touching the hem of Julius's shirt, or whatever, or his cuff. And Mr. Kessler, I owe you a clue.
Yeah, I think he's kind of walking around the circle of them, waving the gun. Like, that's right, stay good.
Mr. Kessler, as you're walking around, you pick up a Bible. They have that someone has chucked down here.
That's no way to treat the good book.
If you give it a quick thumb through, the pages that tell the story of Noah and the Ark have been ripped out.
Which mystery is this a clue for?
Limehouse Lurker.
Okay.
It may be an indirect connection, or it might be very direct. Maybe the Lurker's been down here.
I'll take the Bible because it feels wrong to leave it down here with a bunch of vampires.
I'm going to give you a condition. As he's giving his little speech, he kind of like positions himself over by you, Mr. Kessler, and he says,
Now that I am the Son incarnate, I have to tell you that those who find their power in the moon might be my enemy.
Well, that's a mighty shame. I thought we could be great friends, Apollo.
Well, I didn't say we weren't going to have fun.
Right then. Can I change my condition to marked by Apollo just for fun?
Yeah, I like that, actually. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, not a new one, just changing it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I don't know. I worry about my dawn questions. I kind of want to go up to Mr. Melmoth and ask him, like, is it okay with you if I stay behind with our new friends for a little while?
I thought that we were here to gamble on rats. But if you prefer to bathe in the rays of the subterranean sun, who am I to deny you?
Sure thing. Here, he's going to give him some money to gamble with. It's like, you can place bets for the both of us. I'll be up in a little while, I'm sure.
It has to be utterly humiliating. Yeah.
I'll look at the money in my hand as if I don't know what it is. Thank you for the consideration, Mr. Kessler, but I have no need of your money and will never need a gift like that from you again.
I'm sorry then. One more thing, Mr. Melmoth. What are you?
Your very good friend. I hope.
I'll just count myself lucky then.
I love it.
So, what I was imagining here is that Roland and Julius are in the throes of passion in the middle of this ritual circle, as one does. And during that, Roland remembers the challenge from Julius, where he hinted at the fact that they might actually be enemies. And I think he's going to bite Julius and rip away some of his flesh, which, knowing he's a vampire, could be a dangerous challenge, but he wants to show him that he has fangs as well.
Question. Do you let Julius drink from you?
Fucking hell. I don't think he can help it. Of course he does, yes.
You already have a drained condition.
Oh, no.
Which means this is probably not a great idea.
Sebastian, get over here. I gotta get vulnerable.
No, I just want you to mark the Janus mask.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do the Mask of the Future, the moss-covered gate.
Well, I guess another thing I'd like to know is, like, does this end reasonably amicably between the two of you? Like, is this going to happen again?
Oh, I think there's every intention for it to happen again. But he wanted to come to the Hargrave house, so maybe it will be under special invitation.
Ooh, yeah, bring him to the house.
Mm-hmm. In a baby carriage.
During the pillow talk you're all having, laying down in the middle of this group of people watching you, he tells you a secret. He used to be a hunter in Hargrave House.
Oh, amazing. Roland is awkwardly not going to reciprocate with the secret. He just acknowledges, like, wow, that's amazing, Julius. And then he rolls over.
Where'd we leave Miss Archer and Ms. Innes? Oh, the question. Yeah. What are you going to ask?
So they're just sitting in the fountain, and Miss Archer has just decided she's not going to lie. And I think she's just kind of like looking at Ms. Innes for a little while. If it is so disconcerting and potentially dangerous up here, why did you leave your home?
It wasn't by choice. You see, if I could go back, I would. I can only go for a certain amount of time because of... And she's like eyeing you, especially after you did not promise not to hunt her. She's like very careful about everything and like giving you a very suspicious look. I require certain material components to go into the waves, and they're damaged. They're not functioning, thanks to humans.
Ah. Any humans that it would be potentially a good time to pay back for whatever they've done to whatever you need?
Oh, they're not here anymore.
Ah. Well. Ms. Innes, I will not ever desire to hunt you. But we are all bound by our past and circumstances out of our control. I know that it is an uneasy thing to sit with, but if there is any help that I can render, please do let me know. Especially if there's someone that needs to be killed, for payback or some such.
That one's taken care of, but in the future. Duly noted. I attempt to repair the pelt using knowledge gained from a move, so I think using the scrimshaw that has this depiction of a fishman emerging from the waters, I think is almost going to be a little bit of a blueprint of like, yes, that is where, how it should attach here. And even though it's not exactly a selkie, we're still early on in the repairs, but just helping, as a little sewing pattern as she stitches up a little bit more of her pelt.
And Mr. Melmoth, you have to think about how the play is changing as a result of Julius.
The difference to the next performance of the play is a simple one. It is performed entirely in the dark.
That's really good.
Thank you for listening to Ain't Slayed Nobody. For ad-free episodes, lots of bonus content, and special programming, please join our wolf pack at patreon.com/ain'tslayed, or subscribe to Ain't Slayed Nobody Plus at Apple Podcasts. Nothing helps the show more than becoming a subscriber. See our show notes for full credits, and help us grow by posting friendly reviews and spreading the word to your friends and followers. Thank you, and Good luck out there.